Hi, I'm Nick Thomas, one of the consultants here at Scope Training. I've had quite a few clients ask about good software for mind mapping, and I think when people say good, they mean free. So here is Freemind. As a convenient pun for name and first, not only does it free your mind, it is also a free download. I've posted the details for this below. Cool things about it, it's a Java-based system, which means it's pretty open architecture, allowing it to run on most operating systems, so whether you've got Windows, Macs or Linux. I'm going to aim to keep this video short, just give you an overview of the software. I will also use a very basic example. Freemind is useful for delivering a structure for ideas, which in essence is what is covered by mind mapping concept. Freemind is also useful for various other applications, inclusions such as assigning work, identifying client needs, developing work breakdown structures for projects, problem solving. It's also a great visual collaborative decision making tool. Right, the action happens here in the centre of the page on this central node, currently titled New Mind Map. Holding the control and scrolling the mouse zooms in and out, like on most programs, so you can find a setting which works for you. Obviously here are name changes in order, as simple as clicking and replacing. When you're changing the name on the central node, consider this is going to be the focus of your study, whether it's a decision you're making or whatever task you're trying to accomplish. In this case, we're going to use buying a car. So I'm going to insert buying a car here. And by having this as a focal point for the discussion, it's really good to rein in those people who tend to stray or digress onto their own varying tangents. Cool. Alright, once we've done this, we can start understanding how Freemind works. It works with these things called nodes. And basically we're going to start inserting some nodes we can play around. There's two types of nodes we use on Freemind, child and sibling nodes. Easy to understand, child nodes introduced by pressing the insert key, and effectively this drops down a level. These are considered to be parts of the original or the parent node, in this case buying a car. Sibling nodes inserted by pressing enter, and this will be based on where you are. So you press enter here, you can see we'll make a node here at the same level. Right clicking also gives you the same functionality, inserting child and sibling nodes respectively. Right, I'm going to start the process by inserting some nodes and then inserting some categories. Just for this example, I'm going to quickly list some categories that we may use to consider when buying a car: safety, performance, transmission type, so trans easier, what recreational activities we're going to use it for, and so on. And you can keep going, inserting all these things, but I think that's enough for us now. This is also a good way to identify decisions and also gather large amounts of information by dividing in this sort of structure. So we could then use subject matter experts to guide decisions on safety, other experts or technical panels to decide things on performance, and so on and so on. So I find it quite useful in large projects. Right, now we can start drilling down on each category to get more detailed information. This is where we start to invoke more of decision and discussion, but a lot of times you can start having a plan like this and then using that to really have a good formula for your meetings. So we're going to make a bit of structure. We'll zone in on recreation. We've got the subject matter experts here, and we're going to ask this family, hey guys, what sort of recreation activities do you want to use this car for? So using the insert key, I'm going to start adding some nodes here, some child nodes. And they might say, look, we use it for camping. I'm going to insert another node there. We use it for bike riding, some of their activities. We go for long trips, and also we surf. So we need a car that can suit those purposes. All right. See how easy it is to do those? We could even go down even further, under surfing. So obviously we need a car that has roof racks, fold down seats, so on. Under camping, again I'm pressing the insert key. We'd need large storage capacity, so on, so on, so on. Four-wheel drive, let's put that in there. Alright. As you can imagine, you would continue to work around, in this case identifying all the requirements in each group. That's basically it. Going through this would really just structure your mind map. Now quickly on some additional features. Drag and drop is quite a useful one. So let's say for instance you wanted camping to be its own category. I don't know why, but let's say we want camping to be its own category. We could quite easily move that over there, creating its own category. For performance, you might want to consider transmission types within there as well. Okay, so you can easily drag and drop things to suit your purposes. I'm just going to undo those quickly using Control-Z because that made no sense. Right. The other part of the icons, which are located here, you can also right-click and insert icon, but it's just easier clicking on here. You can also scroll down and find more icons. Icons are easy, just insert them, such as pressing a stop sign there. Decision making, the ticks and crosses are quite good, so you might say, hey, this is a great idea, or no, we don't require this functionality. You might use the numbers to prioritise how important a certain characteristic or decision is. Using that, there's traffic lights, happy smile faces, there's even a penguin. I'm not sure where to use this, but the Linux kids would be kept happy by this. Alright, removing the icons is a little bit harder. You've got to click on the node and then click on the rubbish bin. If you want to remove all the icons, Control A, select all, and then click on that thing there, the rubbish bin. Okay, the other cool thing, I guess you can put images in as well. So let's say for performance, we might want to have some examples of cars that we could use to justify performance or to explain the concept a bit more visually. We'll just click on Insert and we would find Image. It goes down to your files. I've just put them all on desktop here. One thing is make sure that you actually resize these prior to, otherwise you might end up with huge files everywhere. Alt-K does a similar sort of function as well, so Alt-K would enable you to introduce those. Best way to do it is actually put a new node in and then Alt-K, put the image in there so you can discuss different performance attributes. So you might say in this case, look, is it going to be like this type of car? Or I'll put a couple more in so we can throw some other pictures in. Let's throw another one in here. These are all just types of cars I've just downloaded quickly to talk about different performance attributes. And then you could use those to visually guide a discussion on performance. I think most people would just want performance from the Aston, but not always reality. You can also use this to insert hyperlinks and so on. More on the drag and drop feature. If you highlight just that little point there, that little circle, you can start manipulating images and moving things around. As you can see, this is a very visual tool, and your mind map can actually be quite big, so just by clicking on the empty space, you can drag around your mind map quite easily. The zoom tool, control and use the mouse wheel is quite effective there in making things a lot easier to maneuver. Alright, so that's basically how you use the program. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have, but I think that's pretty much it. That should get you started in developing your first mind map. Alright, have fun.